It made me who I am today.
Take a minute every now and then to look at everything around you and be so grateful for what has shaped you, even the bad, what has shaped you to who you are. People talk about all the time that, would you think of like a bad thing that happened to you in the past? Would you want that to be different now? Would you want that to be never have happened? Or did it teach you something and you gained a lesson from that? Most people would say, I'd rather that have happened. It's made me who I am. I'm glad that it happened. Maybe it's not a favorable thing. Maybe you don't actually want that to happen, but in a way you do. Does that make sense? That you don't want the circumstance, but it taught you such a valuable lesson that it was worth it in a way. In a way. And again, like I was saying before, you should go through each day with that appreciation and viewing the beauty of everything around you. Again, if you're 85, you would trade everything that you had just to be where you are right now. And that's because there's so much to be grateful for right now. Gratitude isn't just this lovey-dovey, bullcrap, optimistic, tree-hugging kind of sensation that, oh, I should just be grateful for everything and nothing's bad in the world. It's not true. Gratitude is just being appreciative for where you are because you have been gifted with so much. You're alive right now. Do you realize how many car trips that you've had in your life? Assuming any one of them could have taken your life. And that's not to scare you. That's not to scare you, obviously. But my point with that's not to scare you from car trips. I'm just saying that's the reality for some people. Or it could have taken their legs. Or you could have been born blind. And maybe some people watching that has happened. But you know what? There's always something to be grateful for. And maybe those taught you a lesson too, and you wouldn't take those away. I don't remember who it was. But I remember specifically them saying, because I'm pretty sure they were born with no legs. And then they became a runner. Might sound counterintuitive, I know, but they made it work. And they said that they're glad they were born with no legs. They're thankful that they were born with no legs. Can you imagine that? Well, something that most people would say it would be one of the most horrible things to happen for them. That sounds atrocious. To lose your legs? Who would want that? And this motherfucker is thankful for that. I give them massive applause for that. They took something that was their weakness and made it their strength. And I think that's what we need to do in life. Because if we don't, we're going to be plagued by these weaknesses. And how inspiring is that? You can take any one of your weaknesses and turn it into a strength. And that has been done all around the world for centuries. And it leads to some of the most wonderful, magnificent, adventure-filled lives. And not a more joyous life. We need to look around us and be appreciative for where we are. All the bad and all the amazing things that are around us, we take for granted every day. Hot showers weren't invented what? Until 150 years ago? I say invented, but you know what I mean. They weren't easily or accessibly available to the common person. Most people, at least in America and first world nations, live as kings. Kings. And that's not just a few and far between. That's everybody pretty much, right? And I'm not saying that, oh, there's not struggle and there's not poverty and there's not this and that and there's not all this scary stuff happening. But what I'm saying is, in a way, we have we have things that only kings would ever possess every day. The sweetest foods, the warmest, comfiest showers, hot tubs, how fast we can travel with a car. All these things are given to us as gifts. And if you see them as that, you begin to see how beautiful the world is. How beautiful your life is. Don't take it for granted. It can be gone tomorrow. And you don't have to live in this state all the time. But you should carry it with you and see it every now and then, every day. Because that'll give you a much better quality of living. And it'll give you insight and appreciation for where you are. And it'll give you insight of what to prioritize. And what things actually matter. You spilt a glass of milk? Guess what? That you had milk. You had something to drink. Well, now I don't. You're missing the point. You had easy access. You have easy access to food, to liquid, to hydration, to warmth, to a soft bed, to fucking slippers. Pink bunny slippers, you have access to that? And you're not going to be grateful for that. You're going to sit and mope around because someone unfriended you. And I get the inclination. I'm not trying to beat you down. The inclination is that we focus on what is negative and what's a problem in our life. And that's a survival mechanism. That's the ego. Because when we do that, we address it more appropriately. But we're so far developed now that for most of us, survival isn't just the main aspect of our lives, at least day to day, right? Things can be said about money in one way or another about survival. But day to day, we're pretty much all right for most of us. My point is, if we're not taking into account everything that we're grateful for, then the most smallest minute things are going to negatively affect us. And that's no way to live. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, you can watch the full version right here.